Hey everybody, I've been wanting to make this video for some time now, and it's really just to speak about depression and anxiety and what it feels like. I know it's really difficult to explain sometimes what the struggles are, or to explain it to somebody when you're going through something as far as an anxiety attack or the depression. I have dealt with depression since I was very young. I can remember, I think, the worst episodes were, I think, when I was about 8 or 9. Anxiety is the worst. Once anxiety hits, it's like a feeling of no tomorrow. That nothing is going to make it better. No words, no medication. It could be the closest person that you have to you telling you that it's going to be okay, that you're going to get over it. Because at that point, you don't ever see like tomorrow, like there is tomorrow, or things that you have, special plans for the next week. You just can't see that far. Because at that very point that you're going through this anxiety attack, you really just feel there's no resolution. Nothing's going to better it. You start to feel like a failure. I'm not sure about everybody else, but this is just me. I didn't know what an anxiety attack was, or even that I had anxiety. I just thought I have this really horrible feeling, and how do you explain it to somebody, especially when you feel there's no resolution to it. There's no getting away from that feeling. And like I said, that there's just no tomorrow. Some people sleep the day away because that anxiety turns into a very deep depression. With me, sleep really is not the answer, because it's just very temporary. I'm not, and I don't have insomnia or anything, so I really don't have to deal with that part, because that would be the worst. I think actually being up all night and having the constant things going through your mind, because with me I tend to overthink so much, and especially when I have an anxiety attack, I am constantly analyzing my entire life. I begin to feel like a failure, like I failed my kids and the people that are around me. Then you start to think that it's not worth you being here, that it would be better if you were gone, that you would make everybody's lives better. And that's when you start thinking, do I still want to be here? Do I want to continue to hurt like this? And the depression is worse, because it follows the anxiety. I had a really bad episode, gosh, I think it was about 4 years ago, where it was really bad. And I never want to get to that point again. I have been able to calm down when I'm going through them. I try to find things that I can think about, or I try to block it from my mind, and sometimes that's very hard to do. But when you're going through this, sometimes you lose people because they don't understand what you're going through. And it's not something very easy where you can reach out and explain it to somebody because you're embarrassed that you're even dealing with a situation such as that. I've gone to the point where I would ignore phone calls, ignore answers to my door, even family. And people ask, well, why do you do that? I can't tell you. All I know is I'm dealing with this. And any little addition to what I'm going through, I can't deal with because that's just too much at that point. You're going through this, and then you have somebody coming over, and even though it is great to talk to somebody, it is actually, it is helpful, because then you're not thinking of that. But at some point they have to leave. They have to go home, so then you're right back to thinking it, and going through it. But yeah, I have went through a time where I did ignore phone calls. I did ignore people coming to my door, and seeing, to me, it wasn't seeing that they were checking up on me to see if I was okay, but that, not that they needed something, but I couldn't deal with whatever they had to bring to me. Like if something was going on with them, I couldn't handle anything on top of what I was going through. And you lose people. You lose people because they don't understand. And they say they want to understand or know what you're going through. But unless they are really experiencing or have experienced what you have gone through, they don't know. They couldn't possibly know. I've been blessed where I don't really have any things that I turn to, such as, alcohol or drugs. My mother was a drug addict, and that's what she turned to. I don't really know the specifics of what led my mom there. I do know that depression does run in my family, and I know she was one of them. I know it also runs on my father's side. But I've had a lot of things happen to me growing up when I was younger, and as much as it's easy for people to say not to dwell on your past, certain things will, just come up, and you replay everything in your head. You never really get over it. I don't care how many people can tell you that it's that easy, because it's not. They can sit there and say, oh, you're just living in the past. But it's not that you're living in the past, it's that past keeps coming back. And keeps knocking at the door. Saying, this is what you went through. And it'll be certain things that, just you're reliving it. Could be a movie, it could be a story you're reading, it could be any little thing. With me, I've just too much to go through. I was blessed that my grandmother raised me with the help of my aunt. Those are two very strong women that I have by my side, and I'm very lucky. And I know they're always very concerned, always checking on me, especially my grandmother. And the worst part is when you hear somebody tell you, "Oh, you need to see somebody, about that," or "You probably need medication." That's my grandmother's favorite line. She likes to say that a lot. With me, medication just doesn't work. Probably because I don't like to take medication. I don't think a lot of people do. I just don't like things that would make me feel out of my element, or weird or anything like that. But that is my point of view as far as how it feels going through these. So be sympathetic to the next person or your friend, whether they're silent or whether they do speak to you about it. Listen to them, and you might hear it 1,000 times. Because I know I like to tell my friend Ray, hello. I love to tell him about this stuff, even though he just doesn't get it. I think he thinks that, not that I make it up, because I don't think he would ever think that. I think he just doesn't get that part, especially because I ignore a lot of his phone calls all the time. And it's not to be mean. I don't know how to say, hey, I'm going through an anxiety attack right now, and I can't talk to you. Because it's embarrassing. Like I said, I had a full-blown anxiety attack on the way to a meeting one day, and I had to pull over on the freeway, and I was trying to calm myself down, and I couldn't go back home. I had to go to this meeting. It took me about 10 minutes. Still not over this anxiety attack at all. I walk into the meeting and sit down. I'm late, of course. And I'm so close to crying, because that's what happens sometimes. So close to running to the bathroom and then saying I have to leave. But I sat there, I ordered my meal, was sick to my stomach, really didn't want to eat, but I did. I ate, and I really was just telling myself to calm down, that it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this, and this meeting's going to end, and I can go home and deal with it at home. I remember posting it on Facebook, and my friend Melissa, she's like, well, why didn't you say anything? And I'm like, well, hello, I'm going to walk into a meeting, and I don't know the other people, and say, hi, my name is Eva, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm having an anxiety attack right now. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because it can happen at any time. There's never a time during the day that it just happens. It just hits you whenever you want. I mean, whenever it hits you, not whenever you want, because if that was the case, I'd never want it. But it's hard. And it is real. And it's not fake. And people are not making this up. They're not asking for attention. I went through years never saying a word about this to anybody. My grandmother, she knew that I was very depressed when I was younger, and she did try. I kept myself very busy in high school, with a swim team or working, just doing more, just to keep my mind busy. But those are temporary fixes. Those are temporary fixes, let me tell you. Couponing has really helped me. Hello, I feel like Honey Boo Boo's mom. Okay, she's always in front of her stockpile. But couponing has helped me because it keeps me really busy. But it is a temporary fix, because I do have those moments where I can't see that there's tomorrow. I can't see that I'm going to make it that far. And then I wake up and I thank God for another day. God is awesome. And I know a lot of people say to, just stay in prayer. Pray about it, Of course I do. Of course I pray about it. I talk to God all day long. I pray about it all the time. But we still go through it. We still have to face this. But I know that He's there. I know that He is rooting for me. And I don't want to disappoint Him, just like I wouldn't want to disappoint my kids. I want to see them grow up. I want to see my grandchildren. It's just really hard when you're going through it. Because, like I say, you just feel like it would be easier for everybody. You feel like a burden. You feel like a burden to everybody, including your family. I've lost a lot of people. I've lost a lot of friends. I don't really have a lot of friends. I have very, very few. And that's okay. I have really learned over the years who's going to be there for you, and who you can trust, and who's not going to judge you. And they're rare. Let me tell you that. So, to all those that are watching and are still in my life, thank you for dealing with me, for putting up with me. There are angels out there. There are people that care. And I just pray for people like me that they remember that when they're going through a situation like me, like I have. That by the grace of God, that there is tomorrow. And to realize that you are loved. You are loved. That people are going to be there for you, no matter what. And so, I just hope that this video helps somebody. I wish it was like that when I was, younger and starting to go through this, because I lost a really good job. I quit though. So, well, that's my story.